afternoon. Good afternoon. How is everyone? We need to sound like we had lunch at least, is it? And also sound like today is a Friday. Right? Lovely. My name is Rachel Ndungu. I'm a tech entrepreneur. I'm the founder and CEO of Daystar Africa, where we work with women and youth-owned small businesses. We build their capacity through training on digital and financial skills. We do market linkages, and we give them money to excel. I'm also a member and in the board of ASEC, Association of Startups and SME Enablers. And today I'm here in that capacity. As part of my work on the board, I champion policy. And it's glad that one of our members of ASEC is Anza Village. And we have also other friends and long-time friends and part of ASEC, Grace here. So really glad to be here. And just looking forward to learning from those who are pitching, to seeing practical ideas. I also want to see passion, you know, like you're really sold to that idea, is it? And above that, let's have fun, is it? Let's just enjoy and yeah. So wish the teams that are pitching all the very best. We are looking forward to listening to your pitches. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon again. Wamama mpo. Vijana mpo. Yeah, today is a happy day, happy International Women's Day. Yeah, so my name is Tabitha Nyambura. I am a gender equality, diversity, and social inclusion expert or specialist. But I'm very happy to say that I'm an alumni of Daystar University. Yeah. This is where I started from a very humble beginning. God helped me to get here, yeah? So I'm very excited to be here today. And I work for the National Gender and Equality Commission, where I head the Gender and Women Division. And so I'm very, very pretty excited to listen to those business ideas and see how you will be able to integrate issues of gender, and especially looking at issues of gender-based violence, because we know it has been a big issue in this country, right? And even globally. So I'll not be very strict, but I'll want to hear more about GBV so that if there's any gap, when you watashinda and those that will not, will be able now to look at what are these gaps and how can we fill them together. And whoever wins, we continue working together. So all the best, and we are looking forward. Thank you.
Okay, it is the time we have all been waiting for. Our presentations from our talented participants will start off in a few minutes. Just to give a few ground rules, each group will have 3 minutes exactly to showcase their innovative idea, and this will be followed by 2 questions from our judges. And I guess without further ado, I'd just love to have the first group. Group 1, which is Sauti Salama, come to the stage.
Good evening. Is it evening? Good afternoon. We are from Sauti Salama. My name is Malkia John. I'll be taking you through our innovation and giving you a story again. At 20 years old, and let me even do today when I was coming with a matatu in the morning, I sat with a police officer. He came in the matatu and he started asking me if I had someone, and he started touching me very inappropriately. and I couldn't do anything. I was very scared. And I'm coming here to pitch about gender-based violence. This is something that happens to a lot, that has happened to a lot of us and will continue to happen. Sauti Salama, we believe in a safer world, one voice at a time. Can I? Yes. Over 60% of survivors of sexual violence do not get justice. And in this case example where I met a police officer, so we even have a daunting legal and even structural system, and the mental health issues that come up from the disrupted lives, from the stigma that a lot of survivors experience, we saw we should have this solution. Please move. Sauti Salama is a mobile app, and we are going to integrate a USSD. So let's tackle the mobile app first. So it's a mobile app that offers 24/7 anonymous reporting, legal resources, there's legal experts, and also mental health experts through the counseling and support groups, and also offers the aspect of community for survivors, and USSD code for marginalized women and in the rural setups. Let me take you through the user journey solution for this. So this is the app. So when you get into the app, you see the push hold. That's if you are about to, for example, if I was in that matatu and I had this app, if this was launched, I would start recording. I push hold, it's a big red button. So you push, it hold, it starts recording the voice note. And later you will come to upload maybe photos. Sorry. There's a reporting form. So it asks you your name. You can also choose to stay anonymous. You could be reporting also for someone else. It isn't a must that you are the one who's experienced the violence. After you report, we get your data. Now, what do we do with your data? We are onboarding NGOs to our back end, NGOs that are dealing with the survivors of sexual violence. So we, through an AI sorting algorithm, so we do distribute your case to the next available NGO. We have Wangu Kanja Foundation who are willing to partner on this solution. And then after that, if you do not want to report, maybe you came here for a legal mental health expert, you will get the resources. Is it okay? Yes, that is the user journey solution. I wish you would even have a demonstration. So after you do, you get a message, and also you get an email notification if you did provide that as your means of contact. Our target market, as we said, there are 60% of survivors who do not get justice. 1 in every 5 women have experienced sexual violence in their lifetime. So calculation with the smartphone penetration in the country, we have our target market down to 1.5 million. People have experienced SGBV, and of this, 917,787 have access to a smartphone. And this is just a bit more statistics. For the revenue model, we'll talk how we're gonna make money because, yes.
Okay, basically because this application seeks to help people who have gone through the gender-based violence, so we cannot ask them to download the app and pay for the app. So one of the things we could do, we could look at, for example, her initiative offers businesses for women. They could share a link of their businesses and we could upload them in the application. We could also, since we have a target market, we could provide advertising that is going to seek to attract who we want to talk to. Like, for example, if there are more women, we could link up with people who are having fashion designs. They can upload their pictures there and we can get advertising. And also, we can have, because it's going to be a free service, because of time, we'll go through it and she'll finish up the presentation.
One thing else is also donations and grants that will also be welcome, and also franchising, because we want this app to be replicated in different countries outside Kenya. What are we asking for today? We are asking for NGO and onboarding. So if you have more NGOs, if you have CBOs that are working, directly with survivors, would like to onboard mental health experts and also legal experts and also capacity building. In the short span yesterday, we created a wait list for this app. Go next. There's a QR code if you guys can scan and join the wait list for the app.
Thank you so much, Sawiti Salama.
Yes.
Do we have any questions from our judges?
Yes.
The microphones are out there.
Thank you very much, Sauti Salama. Congratulations on the fact that you've been able to come. Could you please expand more on your revenue models and what your scalability plan is? Not just taking them, do you have some numbers? Have you dig deeper to understand that model and how you're scaling to the other countries? What's the plan?
I will answer and then she will complement. Our revenue model, we could go back, please. Since we are not doing a freemium model for this, so, the mental health experts and the legal experts, as they're being onboarded, they will maybe charge for their service later. Probably if you leave the app with a survivor, you're going to be charged. So what we're thinking, if you're not coming in as a pro bono lawyer or a mental health expert, we are working on a commission model. So you pay up front first, and then the rest now is negotiation between you and the survivor. And also on the franchising is, we've had this idea for a while, and I got a call from a journalist, for example, in Jordan, who they have not had this app before. There are very few apps on SGBV reporting that even do this model. So what is, you just taking through them, or taking through tech people through ways of, developing apps of social impact like this in other countries. So that's the scalability. Yes.
So to add on that, how we can also support some of these victims is by also we can encourage content creation where some of these women who've gone through it can share some of their stories. And from content creation, they can also have advertising on their videos and also for marketing purposes. So we want these women to feel empowered. And if they have businesses, we'd encourage them to upload them in the platform because we'll create a feature. If they want support, they can have their businesses there. They can have maybe a profile of what they do. So people can come in, probably those who want to support these women, they can click on those links, link up with some of these women, maybe in salons, people who have shops, people who are selling clothes, just in a way to give these women their lives back.
Thank you, Sauti Salama. Could you please explain to us how you'll ensure that the app is accessible and user-friendly to those that have visual impairment?
Okay. All right. It could be partial or full. So for partial, you see the red button? I made it so big. We made it so big, and very clear. But we are also introducing and integrating the text-to-speech in the app. So they'll get the app, yes. After getting the app, you have the text-to-speech, so that they can translate everything, yes. And LTS, yeah.
Okay, so I have only one question. Before that, thank you for your nice presentation. It looks very well organized, very prepared. Then only one question. It seems that your business model needs a strong tech team. How do you find the talented engineer? One question.
Okay. One of my team members, he's a tech dev. Yeah. We do a lot of social impact, I love social impact, and I know someone, he's a friend, so we contacted him to help us, with the design and everything, with the Figma, and also the technicalities of the app, yeah.
And you see, in terms of finding gender-based violence, it's a community thing. So you find each and every person here has different skill sets. There are graphic designers, there are journalists, there are musicians. So we're just pooling all resources that we can because we want to make it we want to work as a team because you cannot fight gender-based violence on your own. You need to work with people who different skill sets. Like she's good in presenting, we have somebody, she's also good in working, communicating with people, communicating an idea. We have our tech genius there who is also good in making the application. We have you here who can also subscribe and tell people about that application. So it's a whole community that we want to bring it in a point that anyone can be involved, anyone can inspire, anyone can just empower anyone who is going through this thing, because we cannot do it alone. And we want you to join us and make this app a possibility to also try and gender-based violence.
Okay, thank you so much, Sawiti Salama.
On the
On the-
next, could they scan the QR code as I leave? I'm not.
Could
okay.
you please scan the QR code
It's on the
as
next-
they leave
yeah.
the stage? And while Classic Peanuts walks to the stage, please have her QR code. Thank you so much for that, Sawiti Salama. Classic Peanuts, Group 2, to the stage.
They say community without women is like a spring without a source. So we are Classic Peanuts business. So the business, we are holding it at Bar Hostess Empowerment and Support Program. So this is basically to support GBV survivors, basically women living with HIV. So how are we achieving this? So these women undergo myriad of challenges, including stigma from the community, GBV, SGBV from their partner, that will be intimate partner violence. So to go about this, during support groups that are being held monthly at Bar Hostess Diocese, we do incorporate this to actually help the women economically, because these women also have challenges with financial constraint. As a result, that's where violence comes in, because they're begging their partners to give them money. So we thought it is wise for us to intervene. Now we are empowering them to sell peanuts to community members who are also vulnerable women just like them. And communities is just for them during this support group, the 30 women reaching other community members who are 5,103 women at the community with the business. So through capacity building of these women, it's when we actually incorporate this. So some of the solutions that we as Classic Business will be trying to solve is to actually create independence. Since these women, they depend on their partners to get finance, but they encounter GBV. So independence will be a good way to go about it. And they'll also earn more income from this peanut business. And also they will be more confident when it comes to mental health. It's one of a solution. They'll be more confident even to address themselves, even to encounter the challenges, because through the support group, it's when they share experiences, they exchange ideas, they actually share their journey to where they are right now. For business model that we are using in terms of how are we going to make the money, number one, since this is a small-scale business that we expect to grow gradually, we are going to actually we'll be making roasted peanuts and also butter peanuts, as well as boiled peanuts, and also to sell products on informal settlements of Madare, Korogocho, Mukuru, Kwanjenga, and so on. Partners to involve in this will involve Red Cross. Kenya Red Cross will be in to support distribution of relief food. religious leader to invite us in their events where we will actually be advertising our businesses, and also resources to use. The machines will be requiring resources. The women are the manpowers in place, so there is no need of getting other manpowers. And also supporters who will be storytelling about the business through various channels. In order to get to clarify for value proposition, in order to make our customer satisfaction, we'll actually be selling high quality products, which will be nutritional, which will be of nutritional benefit to the women, the vulnerable women. And also, through this, we are going to achieve satisfaction of women supporting this idea. They'll feel that it is of importance for them also to support other women to GBV marathon cases. So in terms of strengthening our relationship with our customers, we'll be actually be sharing videos, and the videos will be taken randomly with their consent on how we are doing our businesses. We'll be sharing them through social media and also sending SMSs to customers who purchased just a thank you note and so on. In terms of customer segments, community will be involving community and also church members. In terms of structure, in terms of cost, so we did the budget that we'll be looking at. This slide has a lot of detailed information, so I thought it's wise for not to go all through that, but we've indicated a budget of 250K, which will be transport operational costs. It will also cover the stock and other equipment that will require to run the business. But in terms of revenue and streaming, we'll do resource mobilization and calling upon donors and funders to support and running this business. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Classic Peanuts. Do we have any questions from our judges?
Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Classic, for the great presentation. My question is very simple, and it hangs or centers on around sustainability of your operations. Yeah, we're in an era where there's what we call donor fatigue. And it's like, from the look of things, you're really relying on donor support and funding and all that, yeah? Are you able to sustain the operations without receiving such support? And how?
Thank you. Thank you.
What innovative ways are you able to come up with to counter the challenges that come with donor fatigue?
Thank you for the question. For sustainability through capacity building, capacity building of women, and also we'll be holding more trainings of those women in the community to also reach other women at the community level. And also we'll do what we call resource mobilization, that the little amount that we are getting will be encouraging them through them attending various trainings for entrepreneurship on how best they can save, because we don't know about tomorrow. Yeah.
So I have only one question. Before that, so it's very, how can I say, I'm very moved to your aspiration to this field. But it seems that the difference against the competitor is not clear. How do you make the competitive differences against potential competitors?
So competition is there daily. You see, we chose this kind of business, and the peanuts are being, it is the women who do, the manpower is from the women. They do prefer purchasing it at local level rather than going to the supermarket. So what we are doing the branding. We have stickers that speaks for the women, invest on women to NGBV. So those stickers will be like speaking to other community members that this business focuses on GBV, and also will speak also to when it comes to male involvement. So the men will be aware of it, that it is not only women who should purchase this, but also men. You see, it will be a good platform for the classic business to also expand and reaching to other customers. Yeah, in detail. Yeah.
Thank you for introduction, the structure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Classic Peanuts. Next, I'd like to invite to the stage Clinique. Clinique, you have 3 minutes. And then you have 2 questions from our judges.
Great. Good afternoon, everybody. Did you know 49% of GVB cases that happen are never reported? We ask ourselves why. So welcome. My name is Steve Dimba, part and parcel of Clinique. We offer a telemedicine platform that provides access to people who have been affected so that we can be able to provide them dignity, restore their health, and ensure that after they have been taken care of, there is a follow-up on the platform. So that's the start I was talking about. And that's not from me, but from World Bank, which is very interesting. Now, what are we doing to provide that solution? So, as per Communication Authority of Kenya, over 60% of phones in the country are smartphone. And out of those 60%, 90% have WhatsApp. There's what you call app apathy that's creeping in the country. If I tell you to download an app now, what will happen? You'll say my phone is full, or there are apps that you downloaded 3 years ago, and you never go back to them. So there's something called behavioral pattern that we've noted. What did we do? Everybody in this room, if I say, how many have WhatsApp on their phone? 100%. So we are smart on. So what we did, we built a platform riding on WhatsApp and a USSD platform to ensure that everybody who has a smartphone and has a WhatsApp, what they need to do is just scan a QR or save that number, but it's live. You can save it and say hi to it, and you'll see it coming on board. So what triggered this particular event coming on board? At times, from a personal experience, I was out of the country, and my relation was affected, and it was at night. And they had to call me where I was because of a network of doctors that I could link them up with. Then I asked myself, so if I'm affected, advantage I have a network. How about that person who has no network? We need to provide them tools on their phone that they can get access to a doctor, number one, so that they can get that important first advice on how to sort the situation, not to aggravate, and then take them to the nearest health center for them to seek medical attention. 2, after the medical attention has been done, there is always a mental health aspect that needs to be taken care of. What Clinique has done on the back end, we've partnered with a series of professionals. Number one, we have a hospital, Pulse Point Hospital, that provides doctors to give telehealth services. Number 2, we have a chain of pharmacies that we've onboarded on the platform. One of them is Good Life Pharmacy, if you know it, and we are also continuing onboarding your neighborhood pharmacies so they can be able to provide that prescription fulfillment. And the most important thing is the mental health aspect. We have partnered with the All Smile Therapy Center that normally provide therapy services to Facebook Africa clients so that they can be able to offer virtual therapy to patients onto our platform. So when that GBV victim accesses our platform, what happens is we've got tools on their hand that they can be able to access. Now, look at the data. Digital health in Africa is estimated to be around $4.4 billion with a compounded annual growth rate of around 8%. In Kenya, we're hitting 544 million, and that's as 2023, yes. Kenya has a estimated compounded annual growth rate of 5% by 2028. Now, what is our service observable market? Areas that we want to touch. Our focus is to take 10% of that particular market share. But how long will it take us? We're putting an average of 3 years to be able to achieve that 54 million revenue. But what is the average revenue per user on a scale? Now here we're talking about the social capital, but the sustainability of the business will be paid by conventional people, you and I, who are not affected by GVB. But I need to talk to a doctor, I need to have a prescription, I need to get medicine, you will be able to pay for that particular service. Now, it's a WhatsApp. If you check on the screen, that's how you access. So once you save that number and you say hi on the screen, you'll see a chatbot coming in. What we've deployed on the back end is conversational AI that can be able to do digital triage. Ile maswali ya nase yanakulizanga, yanaulizwa na hii machine. So that is all computed and put in the front of the doctor when you are when the ticket is ready for the doctor to see you. Now, look at the numbers from a market validation, from a GVB perspective. Around 3,700 cases are reported. That's in 2022. 40% of us affect women. And out of that, yes, 25% for the last 12 months. Clearly indicating there is a need for easy access to support services via to the victims. Now, how is the revenue, how is this particular system going to sustain itself? Pulse Care, for the conventional client that comes on the board, because that particular WhatsApp, it's open to anybody. So when you want to say, I think I have malaria, I need to consult, but I don't want to walk to hospital. It takes you an average of 2 hours in a hospital setup, private, to see a doctor. On the clinic platform, it takes you an average of 15 minutes. You'll have a doctor talking to you. So clearly what we've done, we provided convenience, access, and cost aspect. As a conventional client, you'll pay only 500 for doctor consultation. If you go to the conventional, to the brick and mortar hospital, an average you'll pay is 1,000 for doctor consultation. If you go to a government, it's 100, but you'll wait for 10 hours. For pharmacy, we take a percentage. So all these are paid by the partner. The money that the conventional client, you and I pay, we take a percentage of it. So technically, the system runs itself, and for the GB patients, we give them as a social aspect. So that means they don't pay anything. So how are we doing our market adoption? How do we bring it to the face of the people? The carriers are what we call a go-to market. So these are the activities that we do. Number one, we attend a lot of events. Free health calendar days. If it's a mental health awareness month, anything that involves health, we put our brand there so that people can continue saving that number, scanning that QR, having it on their phone. We're talking about partnerships. We're going to schools, colleges, universities, sensitizing people about this particular telemedicine platform so they can have it. Now, on the NGO side, those people who are doing advocacy, prevention, they use this as a tool to up their pitch or to up their content so that we are training you on how to avoid. But in case it happens, you have a tool in your hand that you can rely on to get the services. Now, the last and which is most important thing is ground activation. So areas that people have gathered, we want to ensure that we are there so people can save that number, because if I ask today, do you know any police number? You'll say no. 999 does not work. So what is the alternative? Clinic. These are the team, very solid team. To make it clear, the system, the platform is built by us, developed by us, only hosted on the cloud. So we did a test, a beta test in the month of October and November on the conventional client to see the market viability of this particular product. To see, with that data, it helped us to create what we call an MVP, and that's what we got. We realized that 80% of the people who came to the platform went for pharmacy. So that means people are going to the pharmacy, people go to pharmacy. Either number one, Kenyans like a lot of what we call self-medication. So you feel a headache, you go get a Panadol. But also we noted people come to pharmacy on our platform because they have gone seen their doctor, they have been prescribed medication, and they have realized getting that medication from the pharmacy is a challenge. So they have to walk to 10 pharmacies to achieve that. Our platform, when you upload your prescription, we send to all the pharmacies that are in your area. And they give a costing, we send it to you, you pay it, and it's delivered to you. Or you can walk and go and collect it. So what do we need? We need some funding so that you can be able to scale the product in terms of having more space on the cloud, and at the end of the day, we can be able to reach more masses. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much for that. 2 questions from the judges.
Okay, quick one question. So in this field, you need to collaborate with a lot of stakeholders in the context of medical industries. So what kind of restriction do you expect as of now? Then how do you deal with the restrictions?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. You spoke very fast.
Sorry, very Japanese English. So in this medical industry, you have to face a lot of restrictions. So how do you deal with such issues?
Restrictions?
Restrictions.
Oh, yeah, I get you. The medical field is a very, very highly regulated field. So one thing, Kenya Medical Practitioner Dentist Council have very elaborated framework on how you can go to telemedicine. As clinic, we don't own any of the brick and mortar, and we don't do it ourselves. We've partnered with a hospital that we ride on their licenses to have doctors on board. Because as a doctor, for you to practice, you must have a license as a doctor. 2, the entity that clinics brings on board, which is Pulse Hospital, is being licensed by Kenya Medical Practitioner Council. So we are riding on their license. For the pharmacies, again, for you to practice on the platform as a pharmacist, number 1, you must be licensed by the Pharmacy and Poisons Board. That's number 1. Number 2, you must have a valid pharmacy that's brick and mortar. So that's how we go about it. Thank you.
Thank you for your explanation.
Thank you very much. I have a couple of questions, but I'll limit myself to 2.
Go ahead.
Because when I look at this presentation, of course, you'll have massive data from all the clients that you're getting from that platform. So my question is, how do you plan to, and data informs policy and budgeting, right? Because that data will benefit this country for budgeting and policy, right? So how do you plan to ensure that your data is gender desegregated? And then number 2, if one of your clients has gone through rape, for instance, and they are able to quickly connect with the doctor, do you have a way of ensuring that there is a referral mechanism so that after the evidence, maybe the forensic evidence have been collected, how do you link this client or this survivor maybe with the police or with other service provider for GBV?
So that's a brilliant question, and it's an emerging thing that we're experiencing. So all the doctors on our platform have been trained on GBV related issues. That's number 1. Number 2, on the escalation aspect, on the platform, if you should go back, there is a place where called ambulance services. All the doctors on our platform have all the ambulance services phone numbers, where now they can be able to dial on their own, since they have the location of this victim, and send that ambulance to that particular direction. The third, which is most critical, all the doctors also have phone numbers of OCPDs throughout the country. So with that, they'll be able to just go to, we have a database of that, so they can be able to and call immediately, and now we hand it over to the police, who now take charge from that particular angle. From a data protection, that's critical. Yeah, so we've already applied for certificate of, from a data commissioner on data, called what? Data protection, yeah, that's that certificate. We've already applied for it. But in terms of data transfer, the law is very clear. Clinical data can only be transferred, number 1, with the consent of the patient. So that means if in case the government wants our data, we can't really give you granular data that this is Steve Dimba, this so and so. What we can give you is an average data of what we've collected to the end. But that requires a lot of legal aspect that documents must be signed for us to be able to release that.
Yeah, the question is, how do you ensure your data is disaggregated in various parameters that would give us, the gender data.
So when a client joins onto the platform, what normally happens, if it's a doctor consultation, it's always important. One of the questions the system will ask you is your gender, because it's important from a medical perspective. But what we showcase to the doctor number one, or any other partner on the platform, we don't showcase your name. That's important. What we showcase is a user ID, so they'll never know who this person is. So that safeguards you as a patient. Number 3, which is also very critical, we don't, for instance, whatever we showcase to the doctor, if it's a female patient, what will happen, it appears as a number. So if you ask me how many clients came to my platform on board as ladies, I'll have to do that calculation because our system does not do that. So that we make it hazy so that in case somebody breaches, they can't be able to get such concrete data that has been analyzed to a granular level.
All right. Allow me to ask a question, piggybacking from what Tabitha has talked about. So I want us to pull out of the business, right?
Correct.
So your business exists. First of all, amazing, great, congratulations of everything you've done.
Thank you.
But I feel you're so good at the business side that you're forgetting, or rather, you're not quite succinct on what your impact goals are. So pull out, right?
Awesome.
Let's pull out. And then look at, so when she's asking how is your data disaggregated, what are your goals as clinic for what you're providing as social impact? When it comes to GBV, what are your specific goals that you're trying to get there outside of the doctors you work with, the pharmacists you work with, the NGOs you work with, but as clinic, what is that impact plan for you?
So for us, our major impact is to ensure that any person who is affected by GVB have access to professional help. That's number one. And what we check is, when we team up with NGOs, if you go to our platform, there is a place called promotional code. So any NGO that we work with, we give them a special code, which they decentralize to their people. So in case something happens, that's what they use to onboard themselves onto the platform. And that means they will not pay any fees because that promotional code now surpasses the payment module, which takes care of their issue in terms from a commercial angle. Yep.
Thank you. So my encouragement will be, go back. You know a logical framework?
Yes.
You have all the inputs, but what are your outcomes? What are your outputs? That's the question we're asking.
Awesome. I get it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Next, I would like to invite Tan from Group 4. Tan. You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Clesensha Mchanji from Kilifi County. You'll allow me to use Kiswahili kwa sababu tunasema Kiswahili kitukuzwe, na hiyo ndio lugha ya kwetu ambayo tumeizoea, tunaweza kujieleza kwa uzuri zaidi. Kwanza kabisa, mimi ni mwanzilishi wa The Kaloleni New Dawn CBO, ambayo tulianzisha ili kuinua jamii kwa upande wa biashara, kuelimishana wenyewe kwa wenyewe, kwa sababu kuna malalamishi mengi kule kwetu. Kama mnavyojua, Kilifi County ndio tulikuwa tunaongoza hata kwa sasa kwa mimba za mapema na kuozeshwa, tunaozeshwa tukiwa wadogo sana, ambayo imekuwa sasa ni changamoto kwa jamii. Tukasema tunataka Kaloleni, ama tunataka kule kwetu tunasema New Dawn, yani mwamko mpya. Tunataka mwamko mpya. Kwa hivyo kama New Dawn tumekuja na mradi unajiita Turn, Throw Away Nothing. Tunasema Throw Away Nothing. Ni mradi wa kushona ambao tunatumia mabaki ya vitambara. Kama mnavyoona, tunashona mikoba. Mkoba huu umetumia mabaki ya vitambaa. Tunashona pia pillow cases, na tunashona mikoba mingine ile inaitwa travel bag. Na katika mradi huu pia tunaweza kushona, hii inaitwa sokoni bag. Kama tunavyojua paper bags zilikuwa banned. Sasa baada ya kuwa banned zile paper bags, tukawa hatuna mali kwa kubebea tena vitu vyetu tukienda sokoni. Kwa hivyo tukakuja na mradi wa sokoni bag. Mradi huu tunatumia vitu ambavyo tunavipata pale mtaani kwa sababu sisi bado hatuna pesa, hatuna uwezo. Kama young mothers, mradi ni wa young mothers, kama young mothers hawana chochote, hawana uwezo. Kwa hivyo tunatumia tu vitu ambavyo tunaweza kupata kama mitumba. Tunaenda kwa mitumba, tunapata ile mitumba, tunaweza kushonea vitu ambavyo tunahitaji. Katika kujiendeleza kwa mradi huu unalenga young mothers kama nilivyosema. Young mothers wale tunawawezesha kupata kipaji katika kushona ili waweze kupata mapato hao wenyewe, na pia tunawaelimisha mambo ya entrepreneurship skills ili waweze kujiendeleza. Kwa entrepreneurship skills tunawafanyia financial literacy ambapo wanafanya merry-go-round na bado wanafanya contributions za shilingi 50 angalau kila mwezi kwa ili kama commitment fee, kwa sababu kitu cha bure atakuwa anakuja alafu wakati mwingine atakuwa hawezi kujitokeza. Kwa hivyo tuko na mambo kama hayo. So solution and sustainability. Solutions ndio ambapo tumesema kwamba wanawake kule unapoolewa ukiwa huna kazi kwa karne hii, ukiolewa huna kazi, wewe ni kama mzigo. Kwa hivyo wanawake ambao ni wale wameolewa wakiwa wadogo, wamepata labda wengine wameolewa na wazee, unapata kwamba anapigwa. Wanawake wanapigwa na wanapata ile inayoitwa physical violence. Kwa hivyo kukabiliana na jambo lile ile physical violence, ndio maana tukaja na mradi huu. Kwa hivyo solution pale tunataka kukomesha kule kupigwa kwa wale wadada wadogo. Sustainability tunaweka kwa makundi ambao wataweza kujisustain kama hiyo merry-go-round. Kwa hivyo tunaomba mtusaidie kwa sababu tunapenda kujikuza zaidi. Tushone angalau nguo kama hizi, lakini sasa nguo kama hizi zinahitaji mashini kubwa kubwa. Sisi pale tuko na mashini tu moja ambayo tunakuwa nayo ndio inatusaidia. Kwa hivyo angalau tungepata hata 5 milioni itatusaidia ili kukuza, kwa sababu ukiempower mwanamke basi umempower jamii, umempower nyumba yote. Asante.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions from our judges?
I would like to ask a question. Ulisema jina ni nani?
Clesentia.
Oh, lovely name. Mna wanawake wangapi?
Tuko na wanawake 45 kufikia sasa.
Na mmekuwa kwa biashara kwa muda gani?
Tumekuwa kwa biashara kwa mwaka mmoja. Kwa sababu tulianza kuwafanyia training, kwa sababu si wote walikuwa wanajua kushona. Kwa hivyo tukaanza kuwafanyia training kwanza ya kushona. Tuko na curriculum ya kushona, wakashona nguo za watoto mpaka, lakini pia hapo mtu anachagua. Kuna wale wa kushona nguo na kuna wale wa kushona mikoba. Mtu anachagua kile kitu ambacho anapenda kushona.
Lakini mwafunza zote, sio?
Naam, tuko na wajuzi na hao wajuzi ndio wanatusaidia. Hata some of the members wa hiyo group, waanzilishi wa kikundi hicho, wengi ni GBV victims. Kwa hivyo wengi wao wamefanya tailoring na wako na ujuzi.
Na kuwafunza mnachukua muda gani?
Kuwafunza kwa mfano nguo, sasa kufunza nguo ina muda mrefu kwa sababu kwa mfano nguo za watoto anaweza kuchukua miezi 2 kulingana na uelewi wake mtu. Lakini kushona mikoba sasa, unajua hii ni designing, inalingana ni mkoba gani, kila mkoba uko na design yake na uko na time yake ya kufunza.
Okay. Hebu tuambie unahitaji 5 milioni.
Ndio.
Hizi 5 milioni utazitumia kiasi gani? Utazitumia namna gani? Kisha pengine waweza tuelezea wakishona hizi nguo, mikoba, market mnawatafutia ama wanajitafutia? Kuangalia pia sustainability. Thank you.
Okay. Tukipata ile 5 milioni, nusu ya pesa hiyo tutaitumia kama working capital. Alafu kuna technology development ambayo tunataka kutumia njia za kisasa za kidijitali ili kueneza biashara yetu, kwa hivyo tutaitumia pale. Alafu kuna operations, sababu tuko na wale ambao wanakuja wakituelimisha. Tunahitaji zaidi kuelimishwa kuhusu mambo ya entrepreneurship, record keeping. Kwa hivyo naamini kwamba ile itakuwa bure, tumeiwekea 15%. Alafu na pia marketing yenyewe tunatumia pia radio stations. Hata kwa sasa kuna Baraka FM wanasubiri hii pitch. Kwa hivyo tunatumia radio stations, na pia tunataka kutumia zinaitwaje flyers kuelimisha zaidi kuhusu GBV cases. Swali la pili ilikuwa ni marketing. Tunawasaidia sana sana, tumefanya exhibitions. Kama kwa mfano kama kuna shughuli, tumekuwa na shughuli ya chenda Kaloleni, tukiwa tuna mwenzi Mekatilili wa Menza, na tuliweza kualikwa kuonyesha vitu hivi, na walijitokeza wenyewe wamama wale kujieleza na wakaweza kuuza. Hata tumekuja tuna products kidogo kwa sababu nyingi ziliuzwa kule. Alafu pia kupitia hapo tunashukuru tukaweza kutambulika na tumewekwa kwa kamati ya GBV Kilifi County.
Okay, thank you for that. We'll have to move on very quickly. I guess maybe for the other participants, please note we do have a diverse audience. I myself have a confession to make. I do not speak or understand any Swahili. So could we please keep it in English for our different audiences? Next, Group 5, Kinga. Kinga from Group 5. You have 3 minutes to wow our audience.
Hi guys. Good afternoon. Some energy please, you saw mine. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here, honestly. Great opportunity, great people. I've learned so much, met so many people. I know it's eating into my time, but that's okay. All right, so my name is Vince from Daystar Limited. The product we're presenting today is Kinga. So we can go to the next slide, please. So here, we are going to just focus on the problem. What's the key problem in GBV? GBV is a serious problem, not just in Kenya, the world over. It's a complex issue that requires multifaceted approach. So one tablet does not fix all. So we, as Kinga, have taken our little niche area, where can we be productive and help in the whole spectrum of GBV. So the problem is men are perpetrators, and women are the victims or survivors. That's like 80%. So GBV is a growing issue, as you guys seen in Kenya, and reporting is a massive issue. Lack of awareness, language barriers, and traditional norms, which are hindering their goals towards mitigating GBV. So for us, we are looking at, and then of course there's the economical cost, 46 billion annually. That's 1.1% of our GDP. So you can imagine, if you can eliminate all that cost, and then it goes where? To other places that deserve it, like education, medicine, and the public resources. So what are we doing with our technology? We focus on the border industry. Why? 2.4 million borders, maybe even 3.5, depending on which data you're looking at. This is where we found the men are. We can catch them in one group. A lot of people have been having issues trying to get border riders. How do we get them? They're everywhere. They don't have time to come to a class like this and understand GBV. GBV is very complex. They won't understand what it is that you guys are trying to talk about. So what do? We start from a KYC of registration of borders through face recognition into their circles. Now this creates an element of trust, and I know this guy belongs to a certain circle, so I can trust him. And then, of course, now we have the educational content, which we've developed now in 42 languages. So the border cannot say that I do not understand this GBV lesson. So what does it mean? They're only 3 minutes long. You go into the content, you get the module, then you go do a test, and then you move to the next test. There are 15 of them. Once you complete that test, let's go. you get a digital certificate like that one, that a woman who's ordering a ride can actually see that you're GBV certified. So this is the business model. So go back, please. Yeah, so we onboard the boarders on the circles. They take the digital classes. They can report any abuse that they've seen. They can also take the survivors to the nearest GVRC. They can also record the OB and P3 numbers, which now go to the pro bono lawyers who can take up these cases and follow them up for justice. And then the riders themselves actually have access to the women who now form 60% of their customers. Let's go. So these are the stickers also, so digital and also physical. So a woman can just come and verify that a border has gone through the training by scanning that code, and you get that information. Okay, so the revenue stream for us is very easy. We are doing advertising on the reflector jackets with the county. We're also getting the 5% from the rider rates. Uber and Bolt charge 20%. Sacco platform, we are charging that. And YouTube fees also. So let's go. Target market, national, like I said, 3.5 million borders. County, 100,000. Town, 3,000. Let's go. And then this is the future growth, which we are looking also now to include women using e-mobility bikes, because those are much easier for them to ride. And we can actually have them in the food delivery sector, not passenger, but food delivery, where now they're able actually to generate their own income. Let's go. And then this is the YKinga, because we are unique. We offer the KYC aspect. We offer the verification through the certification. And also we offer the access to education that nobody is doing right now. Let's go. And this is our team. Sorry, I can? Yeah, I think, and sorry, and ask, next slide, sorry. Yeah, so we are looking for 100,000 USD, and this is how we're breaking it down: content creation, rolling out, branding, marketing, platform development, and operational costs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kinga. Questions from our judges?
Okay, only one question. So there seems to be incentive for SACCO. So how do you persuade SACCO?
Yes, very good question. So for us, we've done a customer discovery journey. Okay. So sorry. Very good question. For us, we've done a customer discovery journey with the SACCOs. So we go and start with them and ask them, what is the issue? A lot of borders are refusing to join the SACCOs because, number one, the funds are being stolen because it's done manually. So these people do their contributions, but the money is taken away by their leaders. So we've offered them, on the Kinga platform, it's a digital registry book, which they can, from the app, they can do their contributions, they can ask for loans, from the app. You don't have to go to the office anymore. And then the incentive now to keep them there is through, we're convincing the county governments, through the reflector jackets. Any advertising that goes the reflector jacket, split between the county government and the SACCOs. So an ad campaign that's 10 million shillings, you can imagine, the SACCO gets 7 million and the county gets 3 million. So that's the incentive for them to be there. And then access to loans, cheap loans, access to credit, savings, and all the incentives that you get within the SACCO. So those are the incentives that they get being in a SACCO. And then when you're in a SACCO, you're less harassment from the police and from the county, because now you're digitally registered and they know who you are. So you can get something called NTSA compliant, which means now you can have access to your helmet, reflector jacket, PSV insurance, all within the SACCO. So within the SACCO, they've understood now that this model works for them. So we keep them there. And then access to other jobs now.
Congratulations. I think the first time I encountered you, you were under the Hill Accelerator, and you were just trying to get into SACCOs. Yeah. Great to see the growth that you've had, that you're actually onboarding border riders into this. First of all, very innovative to be able to bring the, you call them predators. I don't know if they're predators, but the men who are actually the perpetrators, being able, very innovative to educate them and have these stickers that create a safe environment for the women who are riding this, and then also being able to provide an opportunity for the women that are survivors of GBV to have an opportunity to be economically empowered through food delivery services. So my question is, now that I've seen your journey, and from a question that Atawita raised before, what is your, your key impact goals when it comes to GBV? what is the data that you're collecting a lot of data, so how are you making sure it's confidential, but also how are you using that data to channel out into interventions that have to do with GBV as your own organization, as Kinga, but also to the wider community?
All right, so hopefully I can keep track of the questions, but on the data protection, so we've already gotten the certificate from the Data Protection Authority, so we've passed all the requirements on how we handle data, and so then we don't share data with anybody who is not authorized to see that data, so we make it very, very clear, and then we put obviously the measures about hacking to the systems, all that. So you can't get this certificate unless you've gone through all that. So the data is secure, number one. So the first question was, how was the, sorry. Yeah, so the impact that we hope to get is, remember, who is doing this abuse is a man. So now, when you see billboards outside with a hand, stop GBV, nobody cares. I'll just be honest. People put all these posters, end GBV now, you just drive and, oh, whatever. It's not having the impact. It's been there for years, and it's not changing anything. So my idea is, let's engage these men who are doing this abuse, okay? But not beating them, but to form a behavior change over time. This is not going to happen overnight. But over time, slowly by slowly, they start to look at women as part of the human community, not as a commodity. You see, and especially in the rural areas where they have the forced FGM, and the women are only supposed to be seen and not heard, sorry, to be heard and not, how do they say it? To be, yeah. So that now, over time, men begin to understand the value that women can bring to the community. And they respect, so even like when we're talking to the borders in the hood, they are married, but now they're saying, if I want to have sex with my wife, it's my right. I already paid the bride price. So if I do it, then we tell them, you know what, that's marital rape. It's like, you nini. They have not even conceptualized that raping your wife, forcing your wife into sex is actually rape. So these are the behavior changes that we hope to get over time. And we're looking like over like maybe 2 to 3 years, we begin to see a lot of these borders who actually come in touch with other men and their families within the communities that are impacting even more. So slowly by slowly, you'll see that change is coming and people are now respecting women more and more through the border sector.
What's your reach outside of Nairobi?
So already we've already gotten interest from Homa Bay, which already have like about 50,000 border riders. They're just waiting for us to start in Nairobi. Then, so for us, we are working with the counties because we found it's very easy. We go to a county and we tell them this is what we're going to do. So the counties get two things. They're able to get the issue of regulating the border industry, number one, which is a problem they're all having. Insecurity, because border is always like stealing phones on the bikes or laptops or whatever. And so that now all borders will be registered and it's easy to find them through their reflector jackets which have their numbers and everything. So the counties are willing to do that because right now they have no data. If you ask anybody, how many borders in the country? Some will say 100,000, some 2 million, some, there's no really definite number of who has this data. So for us, we're trying to bring all this data together and be able to help even NGOs who want to reach out to the border riders to find them by section. Which county, which sub-county, which constituency, which ward, and which stage. So that way it makes it very easy to engage with these young men. And you can tell which ones are married, which ones are single, age, where they belong. So all these things, we made it so easy for any NGO now who wants to access information from the border riders, yeah.
Hi, thank you. Kinga is a Kiswahili word for protect, yeah?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
All right, so now what strategies are you putting in place to protect the act from happening? Because that's not coming out very clearly.
Okay.
The number two,
Right.
what's part of the content of the modules that you're talking about? Because you've said that you're developing modules to help in capacity building of
Right.
the perpetrators. Thank you.
Right, so the content are just, you realize when you talk about GBV education, you have to go to a book and start reading what's GBV. It's very complex. So with the border, their mindset is not, they don't have a time to read a book and understand. So we've used an AI tool called Sketch Genius. So we've taken the lesson ourselves, interpreted it into the Sketch Genius. So it's a quick Sketch Genius. I'm not sure anybody who's seen sketches, doodlies, videos. Anyone? Yeah, they're very interactive and eye-catchy. You really get the message like this. Very short, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You can actually tell somebody what GBV. Remember, our objective is not to make you a professor in GBV. No, we just want to make sure that if you see a lady walking here with a miniskirt, don't catcall her. Yeah? If you have a wife and she's not willing to have sex, do not rape her. Then these are the laws. This is what the law says. These are the penalties. Then we go on the ground and we actually engage them physically after those lessons. You see, so it's not just the lesson itself, but we get the entry point to start engaging with them on the issues of GBV. So that's the content itself. And in terms of Kinga, yes, we are doing the protection. Why? Because we're preventing the issue before it actually happens. So for us, the Kinga is not the physical like a bodyguard, but we are saying that it's almost like a mindset. If we can create an environment where I already know that it's abusive to catcall a woman or to rape my wife, then already I'm protecting her, even before it happens. So for us is before it happens, stop it, so that it actually doesn't even happen. Because the cost of firefighting is so much more than the actual prevention. So that's how we're looking at Kinga. So not the actual physical protection, but maybe psychological protection before it happens.
Okay, thank you so much, Kinga. A big round of applause. Next, I would love to call to the stage Iloka Group, which is Group 6. Iloka, to the stage as your presentation comes up.
For our presentation. Hello, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. My name is John Deritu. I am a computer science student here at Daystar University. Hello, I hope you can hear me now well. Okay, thank you so much. Please move on to the next slide. And the next one. So, I'd like to turn your attention to this lady called Esther Wangari, a 20-year-old lady staying at Dagoretti. Her means of income is a salon, and she has 3 kids. Her husband is a construction worker, and he beats her at least twice a week. She has 3 children, and in her own words, in quotes, she says, "Ningeweza tu kuwa na uwezo wa kulea watoto, ningetoka hapa," which translates, if only I had the financial means to cater for my kids, I would have left this abusive relationship. We have already had the statistics of how many ladies face this. Wangari is not unique in this situation. You go to a lady facing this and they're like, how will the society see me? So what is the root problem? Financial dependency on an abusive partner. And that informs our target audience. Please move on to the next slide. So, after understanding Wangari's root problem, then what are we going to do about it as ILOCA? Well, remember, Wangari is not helpless. She has a salon, but her primary way of conveying what she does is WhatsApp status. That is not viable enough. What if we found a way to amplify her business? We want to increase visibility and traffic so that she can generate enough sales to be able to be financially strong. I'd like to quote Mr. David from yesterday's talk in his work. He said, "Maziwa, when there is milk in those areas, GBV cases go down. But when there is no milk and there is no sustenance, GBV cases go up." Please move to the next slide, and our statistics are right there. Okay, well, why is this the solution anyway? Well, when you do this, we'll see increased financial independence, stable home with both providers, and more than that, overall economic growth. Please move on to the next slide. Please move on to the next slide. That's our user journey. But I'd like to turn your attention to the next slide, the sustainability. Hey, remember, Nokia went down because they failed to remain relevant. Well, we don't want to make the same mistake. We want to be relevant. Well, how do we do that? Prioritization on strong relationships with key stakeholders. Who are these? WROs, NGOs, because actually they are on the ground. They know the pain points and they know the people. More than that, a feedback loop. Hey, if you want to sync your business, close all the feedback loops. You need to allow people to give you feedback. And more than that, what's our revenue? 10% from all purchases. Remember, where does money go? The middlemen. Well, we are alleviating all that. 5% for microfinancing and selling relevant ad spaces. Please move on to the next slide. A double-edged sword. Well, how are you going to scale? How are you going to expand at a high pace? We want to use university movements against GBV. In Daystar, we have one. In other universities, they have others. And remember, universities are well spread geographically. And more than that, you're going to use local NGOs, WROs, and rescue shelters. They work with these victims daily. It's a clear cut. And more than that, USSD code platform for those ladies or those survivors who are facing the same. And then the traditional method. Please move on to the next slide. Okay, well, you're asking yourself, what's the benefit of this lady if they join iLoca? Well, increased income and improved livelihood. That's what we want for this lady who's going through this. How? More visibility to their hustle. Skills, awareness, and community. If you want to kill a community, cut off the education. But you want to keep that in check and reduce poverty. Please move on to the next slide. And of course, well, why should I come to your app as a consumer to check this platform that has these ladies? Well, you can discover local products. For example, if my shoe got torn right now, I can't go to Google and search for the nearest cobbler. I implore you to try it. You can't. But if there's a lady right here who does that and is facing GBV, using our platform, you'll be able to access her. You access her, you give her more sales, and you get the convenience as the user. Double-edged sword. Please move on to the next slide. Oh, and I know, our existing alternatives are pretty scary. Google and the rest. But remember, we at the heart of our business is MSMEs. You can go to Google and search for KFC and B&B, but will you find the Boda Boda rider? Will you find the Mkokoteni person? Will you find the Smocha person? That's the heart of what you are trying to do. Anonymity and exclusiveness. The lady does not have to share personal details. All you're seeing is a code. Please move on to the next slide. Please move on to the next slide. Those are just more ways on how we are better or where you are the better option. That's our timeline. I'm going to go through that at a later time. Please move on to the next slide. That's our model of our team, and the team is standing here in front of me today. Please move on to the next slide. And then goes our ask. We are asking for $50,000 US, and the cost structure is as broken down. Development 60%, licensing 10%, marketing 20%, staff and training 5%, and retained 5%. But more than that, I'm calling you to join our platform as partners. You will have a say in the future of economic empowerment among ladies. Safaricom has already paved the way for us by integrating M-Pesas. Ladies can now access their money through the phone. Let us do the same way. All the teams that have pitched here, there's a way we can work together seamlessly. You have a safety platform for riders who are GBV satisfied. Well, we need the riders. You have talked about TAN. Well, your problem is the market. That's where we come in. We are going to amplify that hustle so that those ladies even get more sales. There is a place for synergy to work together. Tuungane, tuinuane. Thank you so much for giving me your time.
Questions from our judges?
Okay, one question. So, how do you get the first customer?
How do I get a customer?
Okay, thank you for your question. How do we get our customers? We do it through advertisement. We'll advertise our program through the social media services like the Instagram, Facebook, and Thread, and also using YouTube ads, yes. And also through the collaboration with the WROS and the NGOs, who will also help us to get local customers who are also, let's say, in line with helping the GBV survivors.
Then how do you retain the customer?
Pardon?
Retain, keep the customer.
Thank you so much for that question. Well, we have onboarded the Mama Mboga, right? Remember, who is in need of Mama Mboga, there is no way to communicate to her without the system. No phone numbers, nothing like that. You click, you say you want something, then the lady confirms, and then a delivery person gets the Mboga to you. If you leave our platform, then there is no way you're going to continue retaining the consumers unless you go and start an independent business. That is very important, because if I get your number and I know this is a platform for GBV victims, what's to make me not call her and abuse her? We have to keep her anonymity. We have consumers and we have users. Consumers is me looking for local products, looking to buy the kangas or the handbags that you have seen from the platform, right? That's the users, right? Our customer who is paying is that person who owns that kanga, who does the making in the platform. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Iloka. I think I had the same question, but you've answered. And the other question is, I'm wondering, in your presentation, you said, you started very well with the Wangari case, who is going through domestic violence, right? And then along the way, you say that you'll be able to access this lady who is going through GBV to business. And of course, very excited that the lady will economically grow and improve their livelihood. And now I'm wondering, where is Wangari? Wangari has made money. Wangari has been going through domestic violence. Wangari wanted to be empowered so that she can secure herself and the children, right? But this is somebody who has gone through physical, let's say domestic violence, as per your presentation. And we know that domestic violence will lead to psychological violence. You can already tell she's also going through economic violence, which you are trying to solve. So where is Wangari? How will you help Wangari heal and other many more Wangaris? Do you have a way to, or a mechanism within Iloka that will help this woman heal and the children? Remember, the children have been witnessing this domestic violence.
That's a very good question. In my last 3 statements that I've left is partnership and collaboration. Yes, we may not be equipped as Iloka to be able to walk the user journey of psychological healing, but through partnerships, through collaborations with NGOs and safe shelters, we'll be able to make a greater impact. Our niche or our problem statement, specifically the pain point we are trying to alleviate, is the financial dependency on the abusive person. Remember Wangari, what she said, the last thing, if only I was able to make more sales and I was financially secure that I could raise my own kids, those 3 kids alone, I would live. And that's what I'm trying to target. For psychological and for her to be able to move out through partnerships and collaborations with platforms such as Kinga, we will be able to work seamlessly to ensure that the transition is smooth.
Iloka, one more question.
Let me just add
right.
To that. So you asked about their psychological, what we are doing by working with the women rights organizations, the NGOs and the rescue centers. They have already gone through the reintegration. That's what we are doing, working with survivors who have already gone through the reintegration and the social empowerment. They have also gone through counseling. So our part is to come and help them grow economically. Yes.
One more question. So what about the man? How are you going to assist the man get out of this?
Okay. We also know that men face gender-based violence, right? This platform is not only for women, but also for men. Yes.
Okay, how about the perpetrator?
The perpetrator.
The husband.
Thank you so much for that question. Hey, remember, our product is not a registration basis application. It doesn't mean that you can take the phone and create an account and enter. Why? We want to ensure that we retain the consistency and ensure that we are targeting the people that we are trying to get. How will we get these ladies and these gents who are facing domestic violence? Well, WROs and rescue shelters have them. And that's why we are going to go and say, hey, we have a way in which we can economically empower the ladies or the gents facing gender-based violence. This is how they can do it. And this is how they can get into the platform. We create accounts and manage that for them. If I'm a gent right now, it's very rare for a gent to be stuck in a relationship because he is not economically empowered. But even if that happened, through the platform, you'll be able to or amplify your hustle. Remember, amplify your hustle so that you can be able to be able to make enough revenue to be able to be financially independent. Remember, these ladies view their relationship as a cell, as a prison. I can't get out of this. Who will take care of my kids? And our target audience is ladies. But even if you are gents, we are leaving room for improvement on that platform to ensure that we are able to target and cut this at the roots. But thank you so much for that question.
Okay, thank you so much, Team Iloka. A big round of applause for the Team Iloka. Next, I would love to invite to the stage Group 7, Safe Haven. Group 7, Safe Haven. Okay, for the audience, we have 3 more groups to go. I hope you are listening and taking notes.
Good evening. My name is Joel Nyawita. I'm a student here taking leadership and policy. I'm also a lecturer in one of the polytechnics in this country. And if I had 10 minutes, I would ask 3 of you to give us a story of how you've interacted with college students, with mothers. If I had 5 minutes, I will give you 3 stories, but I only have 3 minutes, so I'll give you 1 story. My sister got a baby when she joined college, and so she became friends with other college students who had babies. My sister studies at Kisii Polytechnic. You can find out that. Now, she had a friend who also had a baby, and this friend had to leave the baby at home. So every weekend she would go and visit, every other weekend. The cost of raising a baby also is high, so she had to find someone, a man, not a sponsor per se, a sponsor, sorry, to help raise the baby. But she had a boyfriend who gave her the baby. This boyfriend had left her. But the boyfriend got angry along the way. And because they couldn't agree, on November 9th, 2023, my sister's friend Lucy Boke was found murdered by the boyfriend in the hostel where they were staying. So the problem we have, our safe haven, you can go to the first slide. We are empowering student mothers so that they can have safe hostels and have childcare where they study. The problem we're facing is that college students lack access to safe hostels and daycare services if you have a baby. And consequently, they have 3 options, actually 4. The first one is that they have to drop out of school and wait until their child is grown. The second option is to leave the baby with the parents at home and visit them every other weekend. The third one, which is expensive, is to come to school with someone to take care of the baby. The fourth one, which is risky, is to stay in an abusive relationship or to have someone else who will abuse them just so that they can have money to take care of their babies. Our solution Sorry, this slide, there was a final one. Our solution, this is what we're presenting today. Our solution is a step. What we're doing today is a step towards a longer solution. We're having a platform where we are going to link college students, mothers, with pre-approved hostels and childcare facilities near the colleges where they study. For example, if you study at Kisii University, we go and have a negotiation with the hostels and say, would you be like to offer a secure space for mothers with children so that they can stay in your room, in your hostels? And then we look for a daycare service nearby. We'll work with organizations to accredit these daycare services so that when a mother comes and stays in those hostels, there's a daycare nearby to take care of the babies while she is in class. Okay. Why are we thinking that this is important now? One, the number of college student mothers has increased. That statistics, that the number is increasing. In fact, the government going into TVET has opened 2,398 TVET colleges where there are only 68 universities. So the number of girls joining college is increasing and the number of college student mothers is also increasing. Now, I'm looking at Nairobi County where we want to do the first pilot. 54% of the women between 15 to 49 years have experienced GBV, which means that if you help two women or two girls to get accommodation and safe space for their kids, one of them will have suffered in a lifetime, up to that age, gender-based violence. There's also a study that has shown that neglected children are at a higher risk of abuse. So we are preventing that also. And then college student mothers also have a high drop rate. Research shows that it is 43%. Our size market, we are piloting Tomboya University because it's already established and there are hostels around it. But we're looking at going to an overall market and to counties with high GBV cases, Nakuru, Kisumu, but that's something that we're looking into the future after the piloting stage. We've gone through it. The next one. The competition, our competition is the hostel owner and childcare service providers. Next. Our product and revenue projections. What we're looking at is this. If we link you and with a student, we collect money on behalf of the hostel and on behalf of the daycare. So we have just an arrangement, we're giving you this money and we're paying for them and they stay for the whole semester or the other semesters. Our goal is to make just 1,000 for a semester, that's 3 months. If we get 20 students, that's 20,000 for 3 months. Now, that's 20,000 for 3 months per region. Let's say in a school we only have 20. Kenya has 2,398. If we aim at a quarter, that's our target for in 3 years, at a quarter of that, we will be making 11,990,000 per year just by earning only 1,000, connecting student learners with the hostels and safe daycare services. Next, please, as we finish. The team here, we will request partnerships and we'll work with partnerships and other facilities so that we can work together to make this succeed. Finally, our ask, you can finish with the end. Let's go to the last picture. Because now, as I said, there was a final one. In our ask, we are not asking for much. We're asking for 500,000, 200,000 to develop the platform, 200,000 to do the marketing, 100,000 to develop linkages with parties who are willing to help support gender-based violence survivors and also prevent it. Finally, there was an article that was written in September 2021 in the Daily Nation that finished with this, that it is wrong to ignore student mothers because crying without a voice hurts. When you don't have a voice, no one take care of you. That hurts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Questions from our judges?
Okay, so quick one question about the market size. How many students do you think the platform needs? In my understanding, for functioning platform, some extent of students are necessary. Because if you develop a platform, a lot of fee, no cost, will be necessary. That's why I'm asking this question.
You're asking how many students?
How many students at least do you think the platform needs?
Okay. We're looking at a situation where when we develop a platform, then if you develop a website, you're given the around 1 terabyte, that can hold data for many students. But now we're looking at 20 students, let's say 50 for 2,000 institutions, that's 100,000. That's still enough and can be held in that data. So generally, let's say 500 students. 500 students. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I think the solution that you pitched was that you're going to provide housing for mothers who are students that is safe because it has been pre-approved, right, as safe. But the product you've given us is linkages of the hostels with the mothers and the daycare services. So my question is, how do you do the due diligence in ensuring that these hostels are actually pre-approved as safe? And how are you defining safe?
Thank you. Yes, when I pitched, it was about hostels. Then I had an excellent team that pointed out that it is one, cost intensive to build from scratch. And two, it is not easily scalable if you're building hostels everywhere, but you can liaise with those who already have hostels. It is easily scalable. How do you ensure that a hostel is safe? I studied in Kenyatta University, my undergrad, and there's a hostel called Meho Hostel in Kawa Square. You cannot enter that hostel if you're not a lady. Only ladies live in that hostel, only ladies go to that hostel. And then there's a matron to take care of the ladies. That's first my definition of safe. Lucy was killed in a hostel she was staying by the boyfriend. If it was safe, then one, the boyfriend could not even have accessed the hostel. And then again, other partners can help us define how to create a safe hostel for mothers. Yes, that's why we're talking about partnership also. Thank you.
Just a quick one.
Yes.
How do you ensure affordability? Would this mean an extra coin for the mothers? Do you plan to leverage the costs going forward, since now they'll have to pay for the hostel and the daycare?
Generally, because they're students, first, they can somehow afford rent because the colleges already have rent. Then, if there's daycare around that, we are not asking to be the ones providing for them. What we are asking is, instead of this child coming home, we have an arrangement with daycare. Instead of charging 100 bob per day, why don't you charge them 75? Why don't you charge them, let's say, 50 per day? And then we talk with the parents or the guardians to help cover the cost. Our aim here is this girl is willing to come to school, someone is willing to pay the rent, but they have to stay with their child. And so we talk with that someone to help meet that cost. So we can just renegotiate with the daycare to lower the cost. Yes.
Thank you so much. That is all the time we have for Safe Haven.
Thank you very much.
Next, we will have Group 8. I have been asked to stick to time, so you only have 3 minutes to pitch. And then 2 questions from the judges, please. 2 questions from the judges. Safety transport.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Laura Nicole Machina. I'm a student at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa pursuing international relations. Happy International Women's Day. So in the spirit of International Women's Day, I want to bring to you Highway. Highway. So about us, Highway is a transportation platform that links drivers and passengers primarily women, while guaranteeing the safety of the driver and the passenger. We aim to accomplish this by integrating technology, providing sufficient training for drivers and staff, and collaborating with relevant parties like law enforcement agencies and other relevant parties. Next slide, please. So how many of us have ever used Uber? By show of hands. I believe all of us have ever used Uber. But the problem is, most of the time you find that the drivers are mostly men, right? Rarely will you find a lady who is driving, and I'll tell you why. There's a time I had an opportunity to order a cab, and the person who was driving me was a lady, and unfortunately, she was deaf. So I'm part of the deaf community, so I understand sign language, and so we had some little interaction with her, and she told me, like, she fears for her life. Reason being, she has to choose her customers. She has to choose, like, I want customers who are ladies, and simply because she explained to me how most of the times she's harassed. And also the problem comes in where women, they order Uber, and then, like, when you order that ride, you find that the Uber driver is like, hey, na unakaa poa, or sometimes they even end up touching your thighs, touching you inappropriately. And that's why I want to come up with her way. Next slide. So the solution is to launch a transportation service that is focused on providing safe and secure transportation options for women and girls. Also, I want to create an opportunity for men who have undergone gender-based violence, because I've realized, like, those men that have gone through gender-based violence and they are open to share their problem, probably they are rehab centers. And you see, in those rehab centers, probably they are equipped with skills. And I'd also like the men to give us the technical support through the skills that are given there, probably like web development, through call centers, and also UX and UI design. My friend Frederick is going to give you about the product overview.
Hello, good afternoon. First of all, happy International Women's Day to all the ladies in the room. You are so special. Okay. My name is Frederick Kemboi. I am a student at Africa Nazarene University. I do supply chain and marketing. Yeah, that's my background. I'm going to take you through the product overview, like why are we unique? We are the only product that specifically dedicated to women and girls. Yes. And we are also the first one in the market. We are the first taxi service provider that is developed by women for women, right? And our product benefits is it's simple and efficient to use because it's simply like just ordering a cab on your phone. And we also have more security features such as face match scanning before the ride is accepted by either the driver or the passenger. So the driver has to do like a face match to show the client that yes, it's a lady who's going to take me. And also, the driver will do a face match to show that I am going to pick a lady. That's just for confirmations. Yes, and I'm going to take you through the next slide, please. Our company overview. Okay, our key partners mainly will be local chamas and women groups. And we also want to partner with beauty product companies. This will help us in mainly marketing. And also hotels and resorts will be our key partners, event organizers, and security and law enforcement agencies such as the police, the high courts, and the rest. I know we will face competition from Bolt, Uber, and InDrive, but we will make sure that our services are quick, because I can tell you that today in the morning I took a matatu to Britam. It was from Rongai to Britam, and then I tried using the female, like the women's only option on Bolt, and I waited for 15 minutes. And imagine I'm a man ordering a cab for women, and the company like accepted my request, and the request came, and before she arrived, I cancelled it. Our growth strategy is as we plan to do a product rollout this June of this year, where we'll roll out the product to the market to help establish the product. Probably by the end of this year, we plan to release the product to the general public and monitor market trends. Probably a year later from the launch, we will gather feedback from the financial community to expand on availability of the products. Like, we'll do that to see, are we really making profit or impact? Yes. Next. Okay, these are our revenue streams. Commissions from drivers will deduct 20% of all rides from each driver. And we also have, if she wants to go to the airport today at 8 p.m., because of the booking, she can book and she has to pay a $10 or $5 booking fee, which is one of our revenue streams. And also advertisement from beauty and hair product companies, where we can have posters of maybe Darling Hair or maybe Garnier beauty products, and where we can charge them probably $300 a month. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Do we have any questions from our judges? 2 questions from our judges. Okay, the judges are silent. Oh, 1 question.
Congratulations on your idea and your presentation. I kind of want to make sure you understand what you're trying to do. Bringing an Uber, or rather a taxi, that's the first problem. All of us know taxis are Ubers. So how do you differentiate yourself from that? But having competitors such as Uber that have had a myriad of security checks, right? And this keep evolving. Remember during COVID, how do we scan your face with a mask, without a mask? How do you make sure you're the same person? You've been stopped for so long. Are you safe? With all these measures in place, and then having rides like Little Cab, right? And how they cater to women, and how are you going to be different to survive in that market? And then what comparative analysis have you done in terms of costing with these other super taxi apps to ensure that you will be able to capture a market niche here?
So the question is, how are we going to be different from the other taxi drivers? One thing I realized, let's say for example, right now I order Uber and I want to go to Kilimani. Let's say it's Uber. The normal price will be 180. But if I want to order for women's only, why is it that is 320? So for us, we want to create a balance in terms of the cost, such that also if it is 180 to go there, it's also 180 on this other side, or even a much cheaper price. Yes, and the other difference, what was the other question? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question, and for inclusivity, your colleague can also say something. Are you targeting women with your app? Is this Uber for women, or is it Uber for victims of domestic GBV? So what exactly is the solution?
So prevention is better than cure. For us, we want to prevent GBV. There are some people who have PTSD because of the things that they have undergone while they have ordered Uber, and probably they are not able to talk to anyone. So for us, we want to create a safe space for women and girls. And we also hope that this thing is going also to spread to other regions. For example, in Egypt, there is Pink Lady where it's a only woman's taxi.
So in this case, will it be like what we have in Egypt?
Yeah, in this case, it will be what we have in Egypt. At the same time, we also want to include the other gender, that is the male. And that's why I talked about I'll need them probably for technical support because we'll have a call center. We also need web developers, UX and UI design. So from the skills that they gathered from maybe the rehab centers, we want to create opportunities for them to empower them economically, both women and males and gents, sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to know your clientele. Is it Uber for women like we have in Egypt? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. All the best.
Okay, thank you so much, Safety Transport. Next, could we please have to the stage affordable sanitary pads? You have 3 minutes, and we would like to close off the presentations at 5. Judges, 2 questions only.
Good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Victoria Atieno. I work with an apparel company called Soko Kenya. We are based in Kilifi. So, what is our problem? So 65% of women in Kenya cannot afford menstrual hygiene products, causing socio-economic, physical, psychological effects that make them vulnerable to gender-based violence. Why am I saying that? I work in an apparel sector, and it's a clothing and textile industry. So I'll give you a case scenario of the women I work with, and I'll use the name Grace. So Grace is a mother of 4, 3 girls, 1 girl. She works with one of the apparel industries, the EPZs, and Grace is a casual worker because majority of the EPZs, they employ casuals. So Grace, being a mother of 3 of 4, 3 of the 4 children are girls, and 2 are started menstruating. So Grace is married with the husband, and Grace is facing a lot of abuse, and be it economic, social, and a lot of abuse with the husband. So Grace has to come to work, because if she comes to work, she says that it reduces the challenges that she goes through with the husband. And this is very common in the coastal region. Majority of the women, when they work, the money they get, they give it to their husband, who starts to budget with the money that they make. So Grace has to come to work. So Grace is a woman, she menstruates. But because the husband is the one who plans on how to use the money, what she's being left with, she's not able to buy a pad, and the much that she has, she's only able to buy like 1 pad to her daughters, because her daughters are going to school, and the government is providing some pads. So it boosts up what the government is giving. For her, she uses rags. Grace says that going to work is very therapeutical for her, because she's able to meet with other women who are going through what she's going through. And when they meet, they talk. And for me, I believe that if you see women sitting together, there's something they're talking about. 1 or 2 or 3 of them is coming out there with their confidence boost. Remember, they're going in with low esteem, and they're able to discuss some of the issues that they have. And she has to go to work. If she can't go to work, then there are a lot of challenges and problems she's facing with her husband. So other than that, Grace is using rags. So one of these fine days, the blood leaks. And remember, in EPZ, it's work, sitting. And even that only breaks, 10 minutes breaks, and during lunch hour. So one of these days, the blood leaks, and she's not able to stand. So she waits until everyone goes. By bad luck, she stands when the supervisor is close to her. And the supervisor tells her, "What is that? Are you going, it seems like you're going to, if you have the stain, then I'm scared that some of the clothes that we have are going to be stained too, because they sit with their clothes, the clothes they're making next to them." One, this woman she has lowered her self-esteem. And I believe, what happens is, Grace is asking herself, I have to come to work, but I'm coming to work, I don't have the pads. And like already, I'm scared, like even her productivity is being reduced. She's not able to work so well. So what is the problem here? What is the solution? So our solution is, we are going to provide a reusable sanitary towel that is economically affordable, body-friendly, accessible, environmentally friendly, and the longevity is 2 years plus. So, how are we going to make money? Here I'm looking at it from two angles. I'm looking at it from two angles. The customer and also myself as the seller, So with the customer, I'll give you an example. One pad, disposable pad, let's talk about 90 shillings per pad. Generally, a woman who is on her periods can use like 2 per month. So if you're using 2, you're using 180 shillings per month. But our pad is 140 shillings. And it comes in a pack of 4. So a pack of 4 is 540. You may find it expensive, but look at it in the long run. Remember, it's 2 years plus. It's just like my clothes. I wear it once per month, and I wash it, I keep it. So with this woman, if she's able to manage and buy one every month, by the end of the 4th month, she has the pads. She's able to go to work. She's able to be effective at work. And remember, at work is also a social support system that she gets at work. She's able to save some money because in the long run, she's able also to buy her children, her girls, this pad. And you know, when these girls have this pad, retention in school is very high. And that one leads to low school dropout, reduced school dropout, reduced teenage pregnancy, and her daughters are able to reach their full potentials. And also the money she's saving. If anything would go wrong, like she's like, okay, I'm done with this man, I'm walking out of this marriage, she has something saved for her. So please, let us help Grace. Grace is one of the 80% of the women who are working in the apparel sector out of 100%. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much. A big round of applause. Do we have any questions from our judges?
Okay, thank you for your presentation. One question, it seems that your business model doesn't use technology. Without technology, how do you make the business scalability?
Yes, so as I mentioned, I work with EPZ, and we know how the industry runs. We have industrial machines. With time, I cannot mention more that you're doing. We have a vocational center.
I'm referring to how to sell the product to customer.
How are we going to sell the product? Very good. Remember, I work with these women in the factory. So, word of mouth. 2, in factories, we have other connections with other factories. I'll be able to go and pitch the idea. We have this pad. Give us time so that we can talk with these women. And as I'm doing that, it's not just the product. I'll tell them, these women are going to buy this product. Kindly, can you sponsor us so that we can do trainings around GBV, around menstruation, because you need to understand where this blood is coming from. Another thing, we'll use riders. And also we'll use social media. I hope I've answered.
Okay, thank you for your explanation.
I hope.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Talk to us about the product a little bit. So what material is it made? How is it healthy for the body? How do you keep it hygienic?
Yes.
And then above and beyond that, when you're thinking about your sales, how much does it cost you to make the pad?
Yes.
How long does it take you to break even? And what's that trajectory like?
Thank you very much for the question. Sorry, I didn't come with one of the products so that I can show you how it is. So this is the product. So with this product, we have the liner. The liner is made of flannel fabric. Flannel is very friendly to the body. Like when we have newborns, there's this cloth that we use to carry our children. So this is very friendly for the body. And we are KEBS certified, meaning it has been tested in the labs. Other than that, this is the liner, this is the shield. Inside this shield, we have the plastic. Remember before Pampers, we used to have the napkins, and then we put the polythene inside. Another thing is, how do you use it? You'll put this one inside, and then you tap it in your pant. When it's full, you'll remove it, and I've given you some small bags which has polythene inside. So we put the used one and the unused one. There's the big dry bag and the small dry bag. So in the evening, the girl is able to wash her pant. So another question was about the hygiene. So we have a small care label that explains how you're going to wash your product. And a good question will come, where there is no water, and we are in the coastal region. How do we go about that? There are places that there is no water. I won't like Ganze. There we won't go. Because menstruation and hygiene go hand in hand. But again, I tell my girls, because I also work in school, you have done this in school. The moment you are on your periods, you have to take a bath. And when you're taking a bath, you have to wash your underwear. So this one is like washing your underwear. The amount of water you'll use washing your underwear is the same that you'll use with this. So first, what do? Soak it in water as you're starting to wash, as you're starting to take your bath. By the time you're done, the blood has already come out, like it's kind of, and then you can wash it. Kindly remind me of the other question you asked. Yes. So this one is 140 shillings. From this, 16% VAT, that is around 22 shillings. And we have 30% profit, that is around 42 shillings. So the remaining 76 shillings goes into production. And I believe that right now we are not producing in mass. When we start producing in mass, then the profit will go high.
May we please have group 10? You have 3 minutes. Group 10, solar. Three minutes, please. Judges, 2 questions.
Good afternoon. My name is Mercy, Adult Education Champion in Kajiado County. This is because 58 of Kajiado County women cannot read and write. Our proposed is empowering women through solar-powered milk coolants in Kajiado County. Why Kajiado? Because Kajiado is a patriarchy community where women have no say. They are just to be seen and not to be heard. Why women? This is because they were denied the chance to go to school because of the GBV, i.e. FGM, forced marriage, and teen pregnancy. Please go to the next slide. Why are we doing the solar panel milk coolants? One, to preserve milk for the women so that it can, milk is a perishable good. Please move to the next slide. The challenges faced with this milk, this is because women, they're just owning milk. They're the owner, the custodian of the milk, and that's why we want to bank on it because it's the only thing they are owning in our county. The proposed solutions are now to equip them with solar-powered panels because they are using solar panels to walk distances, of course exposing them to increased GBV issues. These are the coolants that we want to use so that it is improved in a way that it will help them reduce the risk in GBV. Please proceed. You could see now our women, they have been using solar panels. So once we provide a powered coolant milk, of course we'll now give them a one-stop shop as compared to the distance they are walking. When it comes to now the outcomes, the women will be empowered. They are able to retain the girls to school. Of course, they're able to engage with the technology through that adult education. And all this adult education will let them enable them to own the project. You can see that the class of adult literacy, in fact, was taking them through. And that one has really enabled them to take part in decision-making tables. Our budget is coming to 5 million, 20% going to branding and marketing, 30% to solar panel, setup 14%, coolant 16%, and 20% for digitalization. Please proceed. Thank you.
Questions from our judges. 2 questions, please.
Good afternoon. Thanks, Sola, for that great presentation. My question is, how are you going to ensure that the operations are sustained? Because that means that capacity ought to be built amongst the membership of the target groups.
Thank you. We were imagining a group of 100 women so that if they can now combine in a central place, they'll be able now to retain and acquire most of the milk as compared to when one is taken as per individual. And of course, something again I need to note is because milk has a ready market. Today we've taken tea in the 10 o'clock tea, and again we are just to take another one.
And I'm talking about the technical aspects of your operations. How are you going to manage that?
Okay. Of course, number one, we register them to cooperatives. That through that now we are able to even sustain and see how best they can improve their lives together. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So your primary, for your business, right, you're having these solars that you're giving to the women to store. So how are you making money, and how has the process been to breaking even? How are you making your revenues, and comparatively with the revenues you're making, how long is it going to take you to get break even?
I've just said that our society being so patriarchal, women are not given those chance to improve their lives. So through the profit we'll make out of this milk, of course now every woman at the capacity, however low it is, of course she or he she'll have that aspect of improving herself. And of course, like you've just seen, it will be able now to help them retain these gaps in school. Thank you.
But how are you as a business making money? You've talked to us about the women and how they're economically empowered.
Yes.
But for your business, how is it making money?
For how to make money, I want to link the milk to the what do we call them? Kindly group Mass Health. Link them to the KCC, the dairies that could be around. Kindly my group help.
Question again.
The business model you've given us is about how you're empowering the women in the community and how these women are making money themselves. But my question is, for your business, how are you making money? Not the women yourselves.
We make money through small percentage of, maybe in 1 liter, we take 20% in each liter. Maybe you are selling 10 liters. So in every end month, as we pay your milk, we cut the small amount for ourselves. And we're also capacity building in these women so as they have the borrowing power, and also capacity building on how to save on themselves and also benefit the company.
Allow me add by saying, when now we are in the cooperatives, of course there are some money that goes to the woman as now the customer of this dairy, and now that other percent that remains to the cooperative, that now where I'll be making my profit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is all the time we have today. Thank you all our judges. A big round of applause for all our presentations this afternoon. We thoroughly enjoyed having you. We are going to have Wangeshi take the judges away for their deliberations, after which the awards will be handed over. So our judges, as you leave the room, we look forward to seeing you back in 15 minutes with the winner of this business idea marathon. I just have a quick announcement for the rest of our participants. I'm excited to announce an upcoming event by JICA, which is the business contest. JICA will be hosting a business contest around the same theme. We hope that this will be done around September, and we hope that we will have more details to come in, as some of the details are still being decided. But please do stay tuned for news of the exciting business contest that should be coming up in September. Again, this will be a chance for you to showcase your ideas and compete for recognition, but do stay tuned for more details. Our judges, please proceed to the deliberation room. We look forward to seeing you in the next 15 minutes. Again, as we end today, please note that you have an event feedback QR code that's being displayed on all monitors. We did have a QR code for yesterday as well. Please endeavor that you provide some feedback, as this will help us to ideate and prepare better for the next business contest. Mr. DJ, while we wait for our judges to finish deliberating, could you please play for us 10 minutes of music while we wait for our judges? Please note you can take a health break for 10 minutes and be back by 5:15 for the award session. Okay, so we do have tea that has been ably provided by Daystar University. Thank you, Dr. Catherine. Please grab a quick tea and let us see you back here in 5:15. 5:15, we need to be back. Let us hurry up for the award session. As you step out, take a screenshot of the feedback, scan the QR code, and please provide us with some feedback. As you step out, please scan the QR code which is being displayed. Thank you. believe that over the past few days, we have delved deeply into the critical intersection of gender-based violence and the innovation space. And we have been able to explore different innovative ideas by sharing impactful stories and forging new connections with the different groups that you have been placed in. From thought-provoking panels to inspiring keynote positions, from inspiring panels to inspiring keynote speeches, I believe that every moment has been an opportunity to confront challenges, and we hope that you will be all able to chart a course forward. So as we invite our judges to the stage to present our prizes, I would like us to carry forward the lessons that we have learned, and knowing that all our collective efforts will pave the way for a safer and more equitable tomorrow for women across Kenya and beyond. Thank you to all of you who have participated, contributed, and supported this vital initiative. Wangeshi, who will be presenting on behalf of the judges. So who's? Okay, so may I please have Grace to the stage, who will be giving the general feedback?
Good afternoon, good evening. Hey, good evening. Is how? Ishakuwa? Kimekuramba? Ama hujielewi? Hujui kwa wapi? Utagundua. First of all, I want to appreciate all of you for coming through today. What you have done in the last 2 days and in the last couple hours is not easy to do. So a round of applause for everybody who came up here and gave us a wonderful, wonderful pitch. The pitches that you gave were thoughtful, they were innovative. We saw that you actually took time to understand your problem. You actually took time to iterate, look around your environments, see what is a solution that we can be able to give, and actually build an idea that is not only going to prevent and rehabilitate GBV survivors, but also be able to economically develop them. So another round of applause. This time a very thunderous round of applause. So we had, as judges, a guide of questions on how do we judge the pitches. And some of these questions included, what is the sustainability and scalability of this solution? How does this solution tag into the preventive measures, interventions of GBV? Not only that, how do we rehabilitate? How do we economically empower both the victims, but we call them survivors? Also, how do we integrate technology into the solution that we are giving? And also, how do we ensure that this solution is actually going to be able to be viable for your business? So at the beginning, from the trends we've seen today, we want to thank you because you were able to actually show us a lot of preventive measures and interventions for GBV from your solutions. So akaroheni, you know what akaroheni is? It's like a slap, a karanda slap. Let's go one. Thank you for doing that. Then number 2, we were able to see a very big push on how to really empower the survivors of GBV economically and preventive. Another kaslap. Thank you. But we also noticed things that we need to improve on. So number 1, there's a big difference between your own business and the beneficiaries that you are supporting who are victims and survivors of SGBs. And today, we want to see how you are supporting these beneficiaries, these survivors, but more importantly, we want to see how you support your own business so that your business sticks around longer to be able to support these beneficiaries. If you don't do that, will your business be here tomorrow? And the core mission of why you exist will not be accomplished because you do not think about how do you manage and maintain the longevity of your own business. Are we clear on that one? And how to do that is to understand what is the big thing I want to do with my business. Then how do I measure that big thing I want to do with my business? To what extent can my business be able to accomplish that big thing I want to do? And then give us the data that supports your efforts in attaining that big thing. When we were asking you, what kind of disintegrated data do you have? That's what we are asking. What is the specific effect of your business into this intervention? And a lot of us, what we had today was there was a lot of anonymity of data, because we believe by anonymizing that data, we are protecting them. And when you do that from the client side, that's okay. But from your business side, can you tell who you supported without data? No, you can't. So we are not asking for specific identifiers. We are asking for those things that will be able to make you know what your impact is. Things like age, things like gender, things like location, things like ability. Then you'll be able to come back and say, I was able to support 50 people, 10% of them were women, 3% of them were aged women, right? Others are from Homa Bay, others are from Nairobi. But without that data, you cannot be able to showcase what scale you're having, and therefore very hard to make proof of the business and the intervention that we have. Are we clear? We are clear about that? So let that kick home quite a bit. What we also saw was how are we specific about the interventions for SGB. So we have given them economic empowerment, but have we gone beyond to not just prevent them, but really be able to help them to procedures to respond to prevention. So we are linking them up. Not only are we documenting them, but are we linking them up to the authorities? Are we going further and giving them the support that they need into their community? Some of us had the solutions, and the rest of us, we need to build up on that. Finally, there are soft skills that are very important. Do you know how you go for a business interview? Do you go dressed down or dressed up? You go dressed up. Do I need to say any more? Yeah. You wake up in the morning, you take a nice shower, you prepare yourself, you fix your hair, you put some makeup, some ironed clothes, some cologne. Imagine this is a business interview. So how you show up also communicates a lot about who you are, just in how you show up. Because, by the way, you have two brands you're presenting. Not only your business brand, but you. When people invest in your business, they believe in your business, but they believe more in the people behind that business. So there are two brands you're presenting here. Then when you come up here and you show us your back, you might distract us for being nice, for being politically correct. You could easily distract us. That's why you have monitors there. So that as you're giving a presentation, as it's running back there, you use those monitors to do what? To present. You need to know your data on your fingertips so that you're not reading every single sentence, so that when that monitor goes off, you're stuck. You do not know how to move on. This is your business. It's just like you do an exam. Ikwe wapi? On your fingertips. Because you can have a pop-up anytime, and she's telling me to sit down, but the feedback that you have. So congratulations once again, and all the very, very, very best to the winners today. When you have won, if you've not won, know that you made here, you are a winner. How many people made it here today? Si wengine walienda nyumbani. You made here and you're a winner, and the advice that you're given, be very careful to expand it. Business models, how you add things to your business needs to make sense. It's not just a nice to have, but does it actually give you money at the end of the day? God bless you and all the very best. Another Karoheni.
Thank you so much, Grace. Up next, I would like to invite Dr. Dan and Madame Rachel Ndugu to do our announcement. Drum rolls, please, DJ, Mr. DJ. Mr. DJ does not have drum rolls, but okay, the audience has improvised.
Yeah. So we are coming to the end of today's session, and are we excited? Are we excited? The team here, are you with us? Drum rolls, we tried before the real stuff. All right, I can see we are ready. My name is, yes?
Breathe in,
Oh,
out.
I like that. My name is Rachel Dunga, representing ASEC here. I was one of the judges.
I'm Dan Arua from Daystar University.
Yeah, so really, really excited, and we have about 3 minutes. And congratulations to the 10 teams that participated. Could you stand, and we appreciate you. All the 10 teams, please stand, all the 10 teams. Everyone who presented, let's appreciate them. Let's appreciate them better. Congratulations, and we celebrate you. You are masters with your ideas, and thanks for being bold to stand here, right? So all the very best. All of you are winners. The only challenge we have to announce the top, the three only. So, and it's very sad that we have to do that. But me and Dr. Dan, we are going to do that. Ready? Yes. Are we ready? Yes. Okay, breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, no casualties. Okay, so I'll start with 3rd place. And then Dr. will do 2nd place. And then we'll do the winner. Is that correct? Yes. All right, and the team here, you ready? Yes. With the checks? Okay, and 3rd place. 3rd place is... Any guess? Any guess? Any guess? All right. 3rd place, drum rolls. Sauti Salama.
A round of applause.
Please come forward, the team. Sauti Salama. Let's continue appreciating them, right? Sauti Salama, where are they? Yeah, please hurry up. Come here in front. Sauti Salama. Let's continue appreciating them until they come here. Sauti Salama. Congratulations. So I want to invite the team with the money. Is it?
I would like to invite Maki Akihiro. Maki Akihiro. Yes. To present the check for Sauti Salama. Congratulations, Sauti Salama. We appreciate your vulnerability, being able to open up a very personal story and share.
Can we have a photo, only the team and Maki? Yeah. Do you have a way of them taking photos? Do you need the team to take the photo alone? No. Congratulations to Sauti Salama. Right. Better appreciation.
All right, give them a hand as they sit. At position number 2, we have... Any guesses? Any guesses? No. A serious guess from one of you? All right, at position number 2, we have...
Judges, tell us.
All right, Clinics takes it. Give him a round of applause. Thank you. Come on, give them a round of applause as they come over. Thank you.
May we please have Makiko Kubota, Madame Makiko Kubota, to present the check from JICA. This award is courtesy of Anza Village, Sisule and Associates, and Axcel Africa.
stand in the middle. Please push this side.
Okay, congratulations again, Group 3. And last
But
but not
better,
least,
better hand clap, is it? Yes. Drum rolls. Yeah, I think we are ready for all what we've been waiting for, right? Oh, Dr. has a tip.
What I'm saying is, if you can't get the first, we are not telling you. So, any guess? Any guess from the audience?
Yeah, someone want to guess. So, really, are we ready for the winner? Are we ready? Drum rolls. Yeah, and we said everyone who pitched today is a winner. Is that correct?
Exactly.
But the only challenge, we had to pick the top 3. Or only 3, right? Yeah. So, are we ready? Ready? Can we all stand up? Yeah, now that we are ready, let's all stand up. Drum rolls. And the winner is Kinga!
Give them a round of applause as they come over.
Oh, let's appreciate them. Kinga, are you here? Hey! Hey! Kinga, right?
congratulations, Kinga. May we please have Miss Wangeshi Wahome to the stage to present the check? Miss Wangeshi Wahome.
Let's continue appreciating Kinga. Yeah, it's right. Hey, you can
This
hold the
award
check.
is courtesy of Anza Village, Sisule and Associates, and Axcel Africa. Congratulations to our winner for the Business Idea Marathon.
All right, let's continue appreciating Kinga until they sit down, right? Thank you so much. That's all from myself and Dr. Harry.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening. God bless you all.
Okay, we have come to the end of this amazing 2-day marathon. As our judges said, all of us here are winners. I am a winner as well. So I'd like to again express my gratitude to each and every one of you for your dedication to combating gender-based violence. Your efforts are invaluable, and I urge you to continue that important work that you started yesterday. So I would just like to invite the representative from the National Gender Equality Commission to give us our closing remarks, and then we will be done for the day.
What a marathon. Yeah. All protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. We are very, very happy and excited, especially representing the National Gender and Equality Commission. This was quite a marathon, and I would dare say that we are all winners. Those that participated, those that were cheering the team, the judges, and everybody else. Allow me to really appreciate and indicate that this event is the first one in the world, and that's what I've been informed. There has been no other activity like this one or event like this one. the Idea Marathon that has happened in the world. So we are the first ones. Just appreciate yourselves. Yeah, and having, representing the commission, for me, I'm very proud that everybody who made a presentation here was very able, or even those that did their pitch, was very able to bring out the gender equality discourse and linking the business ideas with gender-based violence. There are those that managed to do that. But fortunately enough is that everybody who made the pitch was able to bring out the issue of gender equality. We could hear a lot of economic empowerment. There are those that wanted to protect, to prevent gender-based violence. There were those ideas where they wanted to, work more on responding to gender-based violence. And so for us, it's a win. It's a win for this event. And the fact that the special interest groups or the vulnerable populations were very well represented, We were able to hear ideas and discussions or conversations around issues that were touching women. Others were able to bring out issues of persons with disabilities, the youth or the young people who are all engaged in issues of business, entrepreneurship, and the like. And so for us, we feel that this was an all-round event that was very well understood. Allow me finally to just appreciate the team that was behind this. Much appreciation to JICA, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, and of course also appreciating the National Gender Equality Commission, because we did organize this jointly together with JICA, and also the Nairobi County in absentia, as well as the Daystar University. And for the Daystar University, I appreciate the management for giving us this opportunity and also giving us the space to partner together, and also going ahead and giving us, volunteering facilitators who we have seen very eloquent and very knowledgeable in their area of work, and also the organizers. And allow me to pick out the logistics person, Mr. Felipe. I never missed a parking. I don't know whether anyone missed that. And when there was an issue, we were quickly able to call, and he would fix that, and as well as those who took care of our meals. I also appreciate all of you participants from your own jurisdiction, the different institutions that you are representing, and also representing yourselves in this meeting, and also the production team from Daystar and the media fraternity. We were able to see ourselves in the TV. Actually, I saw my face. Yeah? And my children were like, Mommy, we can tell where you are the whole day. So we appreciate that. But as I said, I would urge all of us to create a ripple effect. We have said this is first ever or one of the kind event that has happened. How I wish and pray that those that are here who are able, maybe from your own institutions, whatever you've learned, you can take it back. The Kajiado, I can see the lady from Kajiado nodding her head. Whatever you have achieved here, please go back and replicate that. And even for the institutions, and even as individuals, we've also now are enlightened, kabisa, we are enlightened to know what GBV is all about, how does it manifest itself, how do you respond, how do you prevent. Please take this and take it back to the communities, because that's the only way we can be able to curb GBV. So for the commission, please, we are also open for collaboration, especially for the young people who have done their pitch here. If you want to know more about GBV, please just go to our website, and also you'll find an email address. It's info@ngckenya.org. In the same website, there's a complaint form on any complaint you have. If you feel your rights are discriminated against, or you are going through gender-based violence, or you are going through sexual harassment, or you want mentorship, you want, apart from the cases you want to report, you want mentorship, you want training, you want your capacity to be built, you can do an email using the info@ngckenya.org. If you go through a case, an occurrence or violence, you can report using the complaint. This event closed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for those closing remarks. As our eloquent speaker said before, she has closed the event. Thank you all again for your active participation and commitment to making a difference. Have a wonderful evening and happy International Women's Day. I hope that you'll all be able to keep the momentum going. Please do not forget to provide some feedback about the event. I hope you are able to get the QR code. If you are not, you are able to scan at the door, I think, and at the reception desk. Thank you all and have a lovely evening. We'll have some more